Hi there.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to
Um,
our daily newspaper session. So,
so,
you can just add name on website. Already article posted 18 article. So, if you possible, so you can one article choose and add name on website. Okay.
so
So now I will call the first participant. So, first is me, but yeah, my article number is 8. 8. I will read a 7 number article. Yeah, RBI's founding boast could help unlock
From which newspaper is this article from?
uh,
From which
I think
newspaper is this article from?
news, The Hindu and Indian Express. Okay.
Great. Nice.
Yeah. So my article number is a 7. So now I will read. RBI's founding boast could help unlock liquidity for a struggling capital market. Looking to regulates India's first negligible markets. The Reserve Bank of India on Wednesday rolled out a set of measures designated to make capital more accessible for investors and companies. The central bank announced the withdrawal of the selling on lending against investment debit securities, giving banks greater flexibility to extend credit package by this uh, instruments. It also raises the individual's loan limit against sellers to rupees 1 crore, 5 times that current limit of rupees 20 lakh, while enhancing the IPO found financing limit for retail investors from rupees 10 lakh for rupees 25 lakh. While this measure now, the timing of the arbitrage measure is significant as the equity markets have been struggling to find momentum amid global and domestic headwinds, trade tariff tension with the US and curves on H-1B visa have injected uh, uncritically into export perspectives. Well, geopolitical flashpoints in West Asian and European have kept investors on edge. Adding to the trend has been the suggested withdrawal foreign portfolio investors who have pulled out $21 billion from India equities over the past year in search of safer or higher yielding assets. These executors have pressured the rupee and dependent market sentiment, leaving domestic institutions and retail investors to shoulder the burden of keeping trending volumes alive. The RBI's elections are leading against share debit securities and IPO financing are amid it offsetting some of the liquidity shortfall. A strengthening domestic participation and shoring up confidence in India capital market. This move is significant as it enables bank to recapture flows that had increasingly shifted to abstracted credit players, said Chanchal Agarwal, CEO, acquires family office IPO funding to widen retail access. The RBI's elections in IPO financing comes at a pivotal moment for the capital market as a series of high-profile public offerings are the pipelines, including the issues of Tata Capital and South Korea's LG Group, which are expected to draw massive investors interested. In recent months, a strong listening gains and upbeat corporate engaging have kept investors appetite for new issues robust. By raising the financing limited, the RBI is looking to bring in more retail investors who often face capital constraints while providing additional liquidity to the primary market. Analysts believe the timing is critical as the regulatory body will help channel savings into channels savings into equities at a time when demand is peaking. Enhancing IPO financing is likely to maintain growth momentum in the capital market and fund flow to the industry, according to Amit Bhagat, co-founder, CEO, and MD Asker Proprietary Fund, leading against Ceres Gate Moser Bosch. The RBI has purposed swing relaxations in norms governing loans against financial securities. The central bank has suggested removing the existing regulatory ceiling on lending against lesser debit securities as a change that is expected to deepen market activity and enhance liquidity. Under the reserve framework, bank will be allowed to extend loans against share of to rupees 1 crore per individual borrowers of five-fold jump from the earlier cap of rupees 20 lakh. The RBI has also proposed raising limit on loans secured against units of real estate investment trusted and infrastructure investment trusts, expanding the scope of collector eligible for bank lending. This measure represent a significant push toward easing regulatory constraints and facilitating a stronger credit growth across the financial system, said Narmata Mittal, chief economist, SBI Mutual Fund Analysts believe the move will be benefit both investors and leaders by providing uh, easier access to fund in in increasing border participation and capital market and supporting the growth of India financial ecosystem by raising the limit from rupees 20 lakh to rupees 1 crore. Investors, especially high and net worth individuals, can unlock longer value from the equity and securities portfolios. This provides a cheaper, uh, cheaper source of funds compared to selling shares, with banks able to lead more against shares. REITs, investors and listed debit participants in equity and debit market to expect to risk withdrawal of curves on longer uh, brewers. The RBI has proposed scrapping the framework introduced in 2016 that discourages banks from leading its very largest uh, brewers, those with aggregated graded exposure of rupees 10,000 crore or more from the banking system. The earlier framework was designated to reduce excessive reliance on bank finance by India's largest corporate groups, encouraging them to diversify funding through capital markets. However, the RBI noted that the largest exports framework subsequently introduces already address consequence risk by capping how much a single bank can lead to a particular borrower or group going forward. Systematic level constructions risk will be managed through a staggered micro prudential tools as and when required. State of the broad leading this natives analysts believe the change will be provide cooperator with the access to bank credit, will giving bank credit flexibility in supporting large project measures and expenses without compromising financial stability. So I have done my reading part. Now I'm
Okay.
summarized from this article.
Which article?
You are not audible, or it's from my side. Can any other participant can confirm whether Siddhi is audible or not?
Yeah,
No,
not
not, not,
audible.
no, I can't hear you.
Not audible.
Yeah, me too. I also can't hear you.
Sorry, my network is not good, so I'm not able. Now I'm audible.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Priyansu sir, please summarize because I'm not able.
Which article, Siddhi? Like, try to summarize from your end.
Seven number article.
First of all, you try to summarize, then I will give my viewpoint with respect to 7 articles.
Sir, please manage 5 minutes. I will come. I have urgent work, sir. Please. Priyansu sir.
Yes, ma'am.
It's beyond the rule.
Why to host the session? Okay, a very good morning to all of you. So, actually, I didn't know what's the main crux of the article, so I just joined like 2 minutes ago. So, I think we can move ahead with the other article. If any other participant want to share their own viewpoint with respect to article number 7, they are most welcome. It's article number 7, RBI funding. Okay, so who's the next participant? JM, are you there?
Yeah, sir. Good morning.
A very good morning. So, what's your like? Are you excited?
Yeah, excited.
Yeah.
I'm
So
fine.
for like you are to read article number 13. Am I
13.
right?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, 13.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Short finances on a nationwide special intensive revision exercise. A
Uh,
nationwide, yeah,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt in between, but like, can we team up for the article?
13.
No. I just say that can we divide it in two parts? The first part will be covered by you, the reading and the summary part, and the latter part will be covered by me.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Start. Okay. I will start.
Okay.
Fraud franchise. A nationwide SIR will replicate the risk revealed in Bihar. The Election Commission of India, ECI, completion of the Special Intensive Revision, SIR, of the electoral rolls in the Bihar bring the final tally to 7.42 crore electors, a significant drop from 7.89 crore figure before the exercise began. While the purpose was indeed to clean up the rolls, the lived reality of the exercise, including the manner in which it had to be corrected by the Honorable Supreme Court of India, rendered the Election Commission of India's ambition to extend the SIR nationwide a matter of concern. The event in Bihar warned of danger of adopting a default attitude of suspicion toward the electorate, while the reason for the deletion of 65 lakh names from the draft rolls on ostensible grounds such as death, migration, duplication, and lack of enumeration were administratively sound. The process by which they were invoked was opaque. The ECI provided no consolidated list of the excluded and no meaningful prior notice, and attached no reasons to individual cases until the court insisted on this particular. The report indicated that women were deleted in disproportionate number, raising the questions about the exercise and the accuracy. Even now, the ECI has not disclosed why the 3.66 lakh names were removed between the draft and final rolls. The split of Forms number 6, addition and account of alleged foreign nationals, arise in the ether of the exercise, but vagueness over which now risk erecting a bogeyman. Our ECI also refused to accept the widely held identity documents most of the poor, the illiterate, women, scheduled caste, and other backward classes. The lack the one in debt demand, including the birth certificate and caste and domicile paper. Yeah, Jim, over to you.
Yeah. A nationwide SIR conducted under the same requirements used in Bengal would likely replicate the same risk of exclusion. Electoral management research, including studies by the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, points to the practices that enhance inclusion in role revision. Door-to-door verification by enumerators to supplement self-reporting, the use of widely held identity documents such as Aadhaar card and ration cards in India to minimize barriers for citizens without birth or caste certificate, and advanced publication of reason for proposed deletion combined with an accessible appeals process. India's prior revisions, particularly in the early 2000s, years, depended more extensively on local boot level officers and physical checks, which helped to identify errors without shifting the burden entirely onto the electors. Enhanced SIR could also draw on digital tool to consolidate and publish exclusion data while ensuring physical notice at a constituency level, balancing transparency with privacy. Such measures would help the Election Commission of India ensure that no legitimate voter is excluded, especially at a time the Karnataka Island incident has raised sharp doubts on its technical competency. I got done.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, James, for teaming with me. So for the first part, so this whole article is revolving around the major practices of the SIR, which is being conducted in the Bihar in the aftermath, like in the came of the like in the upcoming month, there will be an election in the Bihar. So whether the exercise of the SIR, the spatial intensive revision, will tantamount to the exercise of universal adult franchise. As we know that as an Indian, after like attaining the age of 18, we are entitled to vote, or our vote have an equivalent value, and that will ultimately lead to have a government which works for us as by the people, for the people, and to the people. So that's why it is important to exercise our own democratically right, which is enshrined by the Constitution of India itself. So the Election Commission of India had undertook the spatial intensive revision, and that resulted in the 47 lakh names being removed. So earlier there is a 7.89 eligible voter in the state of Bihar, and now they are resulted into 7.42 crores electorates who are going to vote or elect who are going to vote for the upcoming election that we have. So that's why the main concern is the lack of transparency in the deletion. And the author also wanted to raise here that what is the proper process to be adopted by the Election Commission of India that will raise a suspicion or default on the part of them. And also the after the Honorable Supreme Court intervention, then only they are included even the Aadhaar and other document verification documents apart from the other list of documents provided by the Election Commission of India. And though they don't even mention about there is no consolidated list who are excluded and whether a prior notice is being given or not, which is again the principle of natural justice as the opposite party and even all the particular affected party has to be given a reasonable opportunity, a fair hearing chance to be given so that it will be more transparent. So that's why there's a fear of mass disenfranchisement, disenfranchisement that like they are saying that our main aim is just to clean the rules. There are a lot of reason. There might be the migration. There might be some illegal immigrants and people who are not belong to that state who are got the fake Aadhaar and other kind of document which is easily available. But yeah, that's what they are raising the concern about. But I think the main purpose, the main aim of the SIR is that they just wanted to remove the fake or duplicate entries and they wanted to ensure the accuracy in the process of election. And but side by side, this article or this whole editorial is concerning that what will be the consequences of implementing the SIR in the whole nation. That will ultimately result if this, first of all, the author is saying that it should be a transparent process and it should not be disproportionately affected to the marginalized communities of the society, the poor or who don't have the adequate amount of resources even to earn for the 2 times food, how they can able to acquire the relevant documents in a timely manner. And also the inclusion of the Aadhaar as they only have the requisite or essential document Aadhaar in their name. So I think some other way forward should be conducted as some other member and other leader even are raising about that they can go ahead with the door-to-door verification and other mechanism to be adopted so that they should also not to be excluded from the whole process. So that will bring more transparency, that will bring more vibrancy in the process of election, as election is a like root of any other institution. For 5 years, they have to be governed by that particular current regime. Yeah, that's why it is important. And yeah, let's see what will the government do for the implementation of the SR in the whole nation. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. And over to you, James.
Thank you, Priyanshu sir, and thanks, Sam. Okay, so now I will move the next participant.
Siddhi,
So
JM
yes,
and
sir.
I team up with the article for the article number 13. So he's left with a summary. Only it
Yeah,
will take
sorry, sir.
minutes.
Yeah, you can.
I'm looking at 70. This is this article summary is same team as the requirement of Special Institute Revision in Bengal because this team not in a store to revision, but physical revision. This special university revision. Any identify supply say any identification documents such as Aadhaar card, ration card, to minimize the minimize the document and previous yearly election in actually 2000 and yearly physical verification on the local booth level officers physical checks, but this time digital verification. mm, yeah, I got done.
Priyanshu sir, already summarized, then, sir.
I summarize. Like, go ahead with the other participant. Thank you.
Oh yeah, sir. Okay, so now thanks, Jayam and Priyanshu sir. Okay, so now I will move the next participant. So next is S. Sani, are you there? He's not here. Rishu.
I'm there. I can read the article. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
So which are
Just give me some time. I'm checking the article. Okay. Just give me some 10 seconds. Can I read the article number 17? Is it available?
yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm reading the article number 17. Hiring slow in tech jobs, job openings down 27% YoY report. Talent demand in India's tech sector continues to see a slowdown with active job opening projects down 27% year on in October. Specialist staffing from Exfino report shows. And the sector turned sluggish over the last 4 months with its contribution to India's total talent demand now at 48% down, significantly from a high of 84% in 2022. Among the various cohort of tech companies, demand was down by 24% YoY in IT services with 40,000 new openings, while software products slid 22% to 26,000. Funded tech startups and GCCs showed positive signs with 13%, 17,000 and 2% rise, 11,000 respectively. GCCs now account for about 10% of total tech talent demand. Functionally, core tech engineering functions dominate active demand with a 47% contribution. Functionally, with the core tech engineering functions dominate active demand with 57% contribution. Kamal Karnath, co-founder Xfeno, said active jobs outlook for October is largely in line with the overall downward trajectory since early 2025. Hiring action in India's sector remains sluggish amid challenges with discretionary tech spending and sustained headwinds in IT. While the sector has registered a green shoots in demand, volume and velocity, it's few and far apart. Mr. Karant added that the decline of the IT services cohort is particularly grave matter of concern, with recent events on the US market front set to further impact the cohort's demand outlook in the near term. Entry-level jobs. Among the different job levels, mid-junior level opening marked the sharpest decline at 28% YOY, followed by entry-level down 19% and mid-senior level down 10% openings. The writer is with the Hindu's business line. So the article is totally based on the recent hirings or the hiring slowdown in tech jobs. That job openings down 27% YOY because of the use of AI and major technologies that is happening and cutting edge technology that are going day by day. You can see that there are a lot of hirings being slowed down. If the job requires 10 candidates with the use of AI, you will only require 2 candidates for that. So this is how AI is interrupting the hiring, and the hiring is slowed down. And also you can also see that US market interfere with the jobs, and a lot of tariffs are happening. US market is making 100% tariff on everything, and a lot of things that are happening in the global market. Because of that, job hiring is slowing down, and you can also see that major stats that are happening. The new openings, while software products slide 22% to 26,000, and startups are also using AI and other things that are also happening. And let's hope for the best for the youth. And yeah, that's all from my side in this article.
Yeah, Rishu, thank you so much for taking part. That was great reading, and summarizes are also good. So thank you so much. Okay, anybody add some point from this article? Okay, no one is. Okay. Nilavani, are you there? Yes, Sandy, are you there?
Good morning, Siddhi. Sorry, I got late.
I'm waiting for you.
Yes. How are you, Siddhi? Okay, I will read article number 4. Yeah, 5. Sorry, 5. Article number 5. I'm audible?
Sir.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. I am reading article number 5. Mahatma's quiet courage. It was about discipline, self-mastery, and willingness to put his own life, comfort, and family on the line for principles. On M.K. Gandhi.
Session is recording. Like, is this session has been recording?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm asking that.
What's the problem, Sam? During the session, so please mute yourself, okay?
I didn't know that session was going on. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On M.K. Gandhi's birth anniversary, we pay tributes by highlighting an important but not much discussed facet of his life. On specific occasions, he displayed moral and physical courage regardless of the consequences. Courage in Gandhi's life was never about readiness defense or dramatic gesture. It was about discipline on self-mastery and the will eagerness to put his own life, comfort and family on the line for principles he believed were higher than fear or personal well-being. On story commences in Johannesburg in 1904. The city was gripped by a bubonic plague outbreak. Large numbers of infected patients has been abandoned by their kith and kin. Gandhiji volunteered to care for the abandoned sick, ignorance the high infectious nature of the deadly disease. Gandhiji asked for volunteers, but he chose only those who had no family. In contrast, Gandhiji himself was 35 years old and his family was entirely dependent on him. An English nurse who had volunteered to be with Gandhiji catched the plague and died. Untrade Gandhiji solidarity and on and tried his methods of unorthodox nursing on patients who had been condemned as lost cases. He managed to save several of them, ignoring the grave risk to himself. Gandhi's exemplary moral courage was equally visible in his personal life. While still young and living in South Africa, his wife Kasturba had to undergo surgery. Unfortunately, immediately thereafter, her health declined to precarious point. Her doctor insisted on Kasturba's imbibing meat brought to give her a chance at surviving. Kasturba, a lifelong vegetarian with deep spiritual convictions, refused. The doctor turned to Gandhi, expecting him to pursue her. Instead, he stood by her decision, refusing to override her conscience. Even thought her wife was at stake. As a consequence, he was asked, rather directed, to remove Kasturba from the hospital. He chose to take her home and personally nursed her by administering his natural cure remedies. Fortunately, he recovered. Not for a moment did Gandhi think of forcing Kasturba to abandon her beliefs, even though her life was at stake. Of course, one can argue that he should have done everything possible to save her, but for Gandhi's adherence to his principles was of paramount importance. And in any case, Kasturba was just an amendment, for she was a strong-willed woman. Upon his final return to India from South Africa in 1915, Gandhiji set up his ashram in Ahmedabad. The ashram was financially dependent on societal support. At the same time, Gandhi was aware that his view opposing the practice of untouchability were at complete variance with societal values. Yet he consistently admitted an untouchable family into his ashram. The upset his sponsors and financial support dried up. The ashram was on verge of extension, but Gandhi refused to budge. In the nice of time, one of Ahmedabad's most prominent citizens, Ambalal Sarabhi, come to the rescue. Once, when Gandhi was at the Sabarmati ashram, his eldest and errant son Harilal was in Kolkata and in need of money. Gandhi had forbidden all inmates of the ashram for supporting the wayward habits of Harilal. However, his son Manilal sent some money in secret to Harilal. Upon Gandhi discovering his transgression, Manilal was banished to Madras for an entire year and directed to live there. Manilal was barred from seeking any help or support from any of Gandhi's acquaintances. There were at least 5 attempts on Gandhi's life. Once a bomb was whirled at his motor car. As luck would have it, the wrong vehicle was damaged. Records also show the Nathuram Godse well before his assassination of Gandhi's attempt to attack him with a knife, but was apprehended. Gandhi refused to file charge against Godse. Gandhi spoke with Godse and also requested him to spend a week with Gandhi at his ashram. Godse refused. The noteworthy things is that these attempts on Gandhi's life did not deter him. He accepted no police security. In 1946, communal riots ravaged Nakhali in Bengal. Villages were destroyed, people shouted, and fear ran deep. Gandhi chose to make an extended trip to Nakhali. He walked barefoot from one riot scared village to another, with no police protection. There was a real danger to his life, but he went about his task of engendering peace and harmony. Gandhi's courageous message of peace and compassion worked a miracle, and peace prevailed. The same inner courage and spiritual strength is reflected in a quarter anecdote from his ashram days at Wardha. While meditating, a snake slithered into the prayer areas and crept onto Gandhi's laps. Those around him panicked, but Gandhi signed them to remain quiet. The snake eventually moved away, and Gandhi resumed his prayer undisturbed. Even if bitten, he said he would not have allowed the snake to be killed if this is not proof that he courageously practiced what he preached them, nothing as will work. I have completed the reading parts. Now I try to summarize. These articles are about the life structures of Mahatma Gandhi. As you know, be very well. Yesterday was 2 October, and 2 October we celebrate the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, and we just shared our tributes, and we remember the lifestyles, and we can say the ideal philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. And really, author says that Mahatma Gandhi is the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi is always provide the courage, and they believes to the, you know, we can say it is the mastery of self mastery and willingness. And he says he always follow to truth, non-violence, and honesty. And some of the in this article, some of the stories also mentioned in these articles. One of the stories in 1904, when the in South Africa, Johannesburg is a city. On there was the lots of one pandemic had comes on that times, and there was the plague. The plague, there was the huge, people's come grapes of the plague, and all the, many of the peoples, they had died on that time. But Gandhiji, he took the steps, and he he involves as a volunteers, he saved the peoples. And on that times, no one have to dare to support, but Gandhiji took the steps. And it is the very dangerous, and it may be that Gandhiji also comes with the plagues, and he may be lose his he could be lose his life also. But he have the courage, and he shows the courage, and he saved the many peoples, especially the peoples who is the single man, and the single man, and who all the family depends on that persons. One of the doctors, lady doctors, also helped the Gandhiji on this, we can say, rescue operation, but he catched the plague and died, unfortunately. Second scenario, when the when the Gandhiji was on the South Africa, on that times his wife Kasturba, he had ill, he had he had urgent surgery, and doctor says that if Kasturba will eat the meat, and she will use to the meat, he can recover, and he can get cure. But Kasturba was a lifelong vegetarian. She refused. Then doctors asked to the Mahatma Gandhi that please agree to the Kasturba for the having the meats. But Gandhiji on that times, he also refused, and he give the priority of the Kasturba Gandhi on that time, and he just remedial himself, and natural treatments gives Mahatma Gandhi. So he respect his wife. And third scenario in this articles mentioned that when the Gandhiji established in 1915, Gandhiji returns from the South Africa, he established a Sabarmati ashram in Ahmedabad. On that Sabarmati ashram, there was some of the sponsors, supporters, Gandhiji, that Sabarmati ashram totally depends on the societal finance. But on there, Gandhiji give to the priority, because Gandhiji knows that there is the untouchability in Indian society. Gandhiji give the priority, and he give the entry of the untouchable family. For this, the supporter of the Mahatma Gandhi, who always ready to support Mahatma Gandhi's ashram, they just stop the financial support. And the ashram, the ashram had running to the lack of the financial problem. On that time, there was a one citizen, Abdullah Sarabhai comes, and he donates to the lots of the money. And fourth scenario in this article says that Gandhiji have 2 and 3 sons. One name was the Harilal. Harilal have a not good behavior. When he was on the Calcutta, he needs to the money, and he asked for the money, but Gandhiji refused his request. But one of another son, Madilal, he provides to the son of the Harilal on that times. So, but Gandhiji's, discover all the scenario, all the this hidden secret, and he knows. On that time, he punished to the his son. Also, he says that Marilal, you give the Harilals to the money. So that's why you are punished, and you don't come on here. You will have to pass 1 year in the Madras, and other things in that Gandhiji's, Nathuram Godse attempt to the 5 times of the Nathuram Godse attempts to the 5 times of murder from the Gandhiji. But Gandhiji have the good luck on that time. One time, there is the rally, and the Nathuram and his supporters, they throw the bombs on the Gandhiji's vehicles. But on that time, Gandhiji have the good luck, and another, the Nathuram Godse have to plan to kill to Mahatma Gandhi by the knife, and but he didn't got the chance. Gandhiji know very well that he have he have to and some of the peoples, they want to kill the Gandhiji, but Gandhiji didn't give the police security, and offer to Nathuram Godse that please come in my ashram, and I want to spend 1 week with you, because they know that if Nathuram Godse will stay with me, live with me 7 days, so he will be change his ideology, and but the Nathuram Godse refused his request, Gandhi's request, and in the last of this article, that there was this scenario when the Gandhiji was meditating, one snakes come in his laps, but the supporter of the Gandhiji, they saw, oh, what happens, they want to kill to the snakes, but on that times Gandhiji, they gave the orders that don't be quiet and don't disturb to the snake. I will not allow to kill the snake. So this all about the all the scenarios. And one of the Bengal, in 1946 there was the riots of the Bengal, and there was the very bad situation, but Gandhiji took on that time took initiatives, and they traveled on there, and they managed all the peoples, so they just maintain the peace and harmony. So there is the articles regarding about regarding to the struggle of the Gandhiji's life. Why the Gandhiji is so a high level, achieved to the high level respect, because they have to morality. They always devotes his lives for the harmony, for the peace. They shows the courage. So that's all about from my side. This is the in this article. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for taking part. Nicely reading and summarize is also good. So thank you. Anybody here add some point from this article? Okay, so now I will move the next participant. Next is Arvind. Arvind, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am here. If not everybody, anyone available here before me, if he has no problem, then I can go forward. Shall I? Hello, I am audible.
Arvind sir, you are audible.
Yeah, I can go with the article number 11. Okay, shall I start, Siddhi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The curious case of GDP data. The growth of India's real GDP has frequently outperformed expectations, yet policymakers continue to try and boost consumption. If the economy is indeed growing fast, why are these interventions needed? So, Udit Mishra, when observing data pertaining to the Indian economy, two seemingly incompatible trends are spotted. On one hand, official data show that India's real GDP growth, not counting the effect of inflation, has generally been better than expected. The GDP is essentially the overall size of the economy calculated by adding expenditures by different entities in individuals, companies, and governments. The high GDP growth rate of 7.8% in Q1 quarter one, April, May, and June is a case in point. It surprised everyone, including the RBI governor, who said as much while announcing the latest monetary policy statement on Wednesday. The government has pointed to this number as proof that India continues to remain a bright spot as the fastest growing major economy globally, even as countries around the world struggle to beat economic contraction. On the other hand, however, most major policy moves in recent years have been about giving some form of tax relief to raise consumption levels. In February 2023, leading up to the general election, the union government raised the income tax exemption limit to rupees 7 lakhs per annum. 2 years later, within a year of Prime Minister Narendra Modi returning to power, with a reduced mandate, this limit was raised to rupees 12 lakhs. To be sure, the average annual income of an Indian in Feb 2025 was around 2.3 lakh rupees. Most recently, cuts were announced to the goods and service tax rates. The incongruence: if the economy is growing fast, surprising even the policymakers and the markets, then there would be no need to artificially boost overall demand and consumption. Additionally, inflation has been a problem in the last 2 years, turning benign only in recent months. Typically, when an economy grows at a fast pace, inflation goes up because the overall supply starts lagging behind fast rising demand. Alternatively, when the demand is subdued, inflation cools and policymakers try to boost demand through tax and interest rate cuts. On the face of it, growth is running hot, and yet policymakers are trying to boost demand. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said with the GST rates coming down, consumption can go up. The more the demand, the companies which are selling these products will have to invest more and produce more. More production will lead to more jobs, which means the tax base will widen because more people will have income to buy things and pay taxes. That will lead to a foundation for even lesser taxes. An alternative view: when what if one of the two trends is not as robust as it seems? Of course, tax cuts and effort to boost consumption are very much real. The obvious point of inquiry is then the growth rate. Typically, economists look at the real GDP growth rate, but this figure is calculated after removing the effect of inflation from the nominal GDP growth. Data is actually collected only for the latter. The calculation of the real GDP has come under questioning in the past few years. Many analysts have claimed that the real GDP growth is forecasting India's economic momentum, while the government has argued that detractors use the nominal GDP data to show weakness in growth. While looking to real GDP is always better for judging growth, it may be instructive to look at the nominal GDP growth rate for many regions. It is actually
You're not audible.
yeah. Now I'm audible.
Yep, sir.
Actually, I was getting called. Sorry. Soon the process of formulating the next union budget captures the demand story of economy better than the real GDP, which maps the supply story better. Additionally, nominal GDP data can help compare the economic momentum from before the COVID-19 pandemic. Economic data since April 2020 have suffered several statistical anomalies because of the events like the lockdowns and the sharp spike in inflation as a result of Russia-Ukraine war. But in 2019-20 inflation, even as the economy showed signs of a sharp slowdown within reports of rising car and two-wheeler inventories as consumption started slumping. What the data show, the table shows the nominal GDP growth rates for the first quarter of recent years. It is instructive also because Q1 was most affected by the pandemic. Siddhi, have you read the article?
Yeah,
Hello?
sir.
You have read the article? Any article?
Yeah, I already read article number 7.
Okay. If somebody else want to read the article, then
Okay, sir, I
you
will
can.
manage. If you
Yeah, just I want to go because someone also calling me again and again.
okay, sir, where? Tell me paragraph name.
Yeah, it is what the data show.
Data
Paragraph number 11. I'm not paragraph. It's article 11.
What the data show.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I will summarize
So,
later.
okay. Yeah, sir, no problem. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Yeah, the table shows the nominal GDP growth rate for the first quarter of recent years. It is an interactive also because Q1 was the most affected by the pandemic. The table shows year-on-year growth rates of nominal GDP as well as its remains components of GDP. First is the expenditure by Indians is their private capacity, call it private final consumption expenditure. Also biggest in cases of GDP growth accounting for 55,000 to 60,000 55% to 16% of the GDP. Second are expenditures made towards investments both by private business as well as the government and to reach the productive capacity of the country. This is called gross fixed capital formation, accounting for another 25%, 30% of Indian GDP. Third are expenditures made by the government to run its daily affairs, excluding investments such as the roads. This accounts for the remaining 10% of GDP. Then comes total income of the corporate economic capturing another side of demand. For Q1 of the current years, it is clear that growth is being up by government expenditure. Without government expenditures growth at 9.7%, the overall nominal growth rate would have been significantly lower. That delicious is a nominal growth rate both for GDP as well as the private consumer demand and investment by business is also significant over the past 2 years. This may explain why despite very strong real GDP growth rates, policymakers have been trying their best to boost consumption and investment. It is instructive to look at the data for Q1 2019, which was the best quarter of that financial year. 2019 to 20, the full year nominal GDP at 6.4% grew at the significant low rate in real terms. The GDP growth slipped to less than 4% in 2019-20. Finally, the growth rates of corporation India are quite in line with normal GDP growth rates as well as the nation that Indian consumption continues to be weak points without private consumption. It is hardly surprising that businesses have been holding back new investment. Upshot, well, nominal GDP is not the best to corporate long-term growth. Uh, Primarily because inflation rates are significantly different and as such distort the picture status so that the solid nominal GDP growth rates. It is not difficult to see why this would have a matter of worry for or policymakers. The nominal GDP growth rate selling economic growth in the country historically back to of the involved in global calculation of India want to something like the 12% normally. GDP growth 4% inflation are as a result 8% real GDP growth rate, but it is a nominal GDP growth rate itself state however around 8% or 9% is it could quietly translate into the challenges to real GDP growth that because varying expectation term centennial anomalies Indians economic like developed countries will be like continues having inflation rate close to 4%. It would let retail consumer. This explains why despite publicly funding the strong real GDP growth rate, policymakers in India constitute to act as a economics is actually much weaker. So I have done reading part, yeah. So this article, I think I'm not able. I'm not all paragraph is read, so I'm not understand. But yeah, this article is to talk about the GDP data because stay is a normal GDP growth like growth data. Uh, I'm audible. Please, anyone
Yes,
confirm me?
you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so now I will summarize from this article. So this article talk about Indian is GDP growth has often outperformed expectations, yet government continues to push for public that both even like tax cut, lower interest rates, and subsides. So this raises a puzzle for growth is a strong. So a strong growth yet interventions and April to June 2025 GDP growth at 7.8%, including RBI and India is among growing economics globally, but consumption remains weak. So, and nominal GDP growth has been cooperated to real GDP, and since tax government spending debate and corporate profits or benchmark it to nominal GDP. So this and yeah, and also Indian's real GDP growth looks impressive, but nominal GDP like to tax revenue and jobs tells as weak a story. This divergence explains why the government continues to push measures to boost cooperation and demand even when growth seems strong. So yeah, I have done. So anybody at some point from this article, welcome. Okay, Nilavani, you want to participate? Okay, so now I will conclude the session. So thank you everyone for taking part. That was a great session. And yeah, I hope all is good. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you.